it takes years, and everybody wants to come in and just.
Call the meeting to order.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a couple adjustments to the agenda. Under new business, I is permission to sign the closing documents on the bus garage. And J is Arbor Day. Correspondence, Kay, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. I have one thing, which is just the letter from the Office of Real Property Tax Services that the certificate of the final special franchise full values for the 2021 assessment roll, and they're final, and they just sent us a letter with them. They had passed it at the county level. Acceptance of the June 15th, 2021 meeting minutes.
I'd like to make a motion that we table them till next month because the very second motion regarding, or the third motion for Triple Track HR Partners, I made the motion to add the invoice, and I gave you an invoice number for $6,627. That was cash due notice, so that's what the motion was for. And then I also did not see the motion to Prattsburg regarding not to clear cut and put a solar until the DEC gave us an okay that it wasn't hazardous anymore. I don't see that in here. And there was one for Gary's truck. We also said in when the truck arrives to advertise his 2 trucks as a sealed bid at the next meeting, but that's not, part's not in there either. Recheck in the green.
Yeah, I remember the solar thing and yours truck, which is not even started yet, so that won't be cool. But,
If we could just listen to that tape and redo them, the way the motions are read.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what?
You'll have to listen to your tape, but there was one on Prattsburg. We did a motion to Prattsburg for the solar and the timber clear cut to not, that we weren't approving it or something along those lines until the DEC gave us clearance because of the hazardous waste.
Okay.
And then Barry's truck, we added the motion, we added to that motion about going ahead and putting it on the bid. And we'd do a sealed bid at for the next meeting whenever his truck arrived, so we wouldn't have to wait on it.
Just out of curiosity, you got these minutes ahead of time. Could that have been brought up ahead of time so that we could have approved these minutes? So that I could have, because it's already in draft status. So why, if you knew about that beforehand, why wasn't that brought to my attention that I might have missed that?
I can, if I look at them ahead of time. Sometimes I might pick them up, but I might not look at them.
Is there a second to,
I'll second that.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We have reports from the supervisor, town clerk, dog control, highway, justices, planning board, ambulance, code enforcement, police, and the assessor.
I don't think the code enforcement is doing what it used to do, tells who, he just says how many permits are issued, doesn't say who or for what for. And, so it leaves us blind, we drive by somebody that's building something, we don't know if he has a permit or anything like that, but, I mean, it used to be for a couple of years he's done that, but he ceased to do it for some reason. I've had him all set.
No, I mean, so you'd like to see him,
Yeah, if he's issuing permits, who to? And for what? I mean, he only mentioned Mountain View Deck last month, but he, I mean, I see people across from Mr. Kiesel there that's doing building, I don't know, does he have a permit or?
so you wanna see the address of the permits
Correct.
on the report.
Mark's not here. Did we hire some new police officers? There's a Daniel Cohocton.
Yeah, we hired him and actually we have his resignation, but yeah, we hired him a couple months ago.
The board did?
Mm-hmm.
We made a resolution,
Mm-hmm.
motion? I don't remember seeing it.
There was another one on there too that is not one
Ted.
of our clients. He was, but I don't know, and I haven't seen him. I have to ask him if he made a mistake or if he's a sheriff or somebody and it somehow got. He was, doing one of the things. I got a text message from a little while ago that he was trying to make the meeting, but I don't know if they'll show up or not. Motion to accept the reports with,
Yeah, we received them.
that we received them.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There is gonna be discussion on Richie's down below where he's got a request. All in favor? Aye. Approval of the abstract as presented. There were a couple corrections after, I think Cheryl and Milt had signed off. I don't know if you had a chance to look.
There was a taser purchased, I remember, right? Wasn't there one for a taser, a refurbished taser?
It was, yeah.
Has everybody had their training on that? Because I remember we didn't approve them getting a taser because nobody had any training. Do you know if they do now have training?
Yeah, they've had the tasers for quite a few years now.
Steuben.
And we corrected the duplicate for the, see if I can find it. For an ambulance one for PAB.
Yeah, there were actually two
Okay.
corrections, and it's only the current bill that's being paid, which was all, the other ones were paid.
And then you got the credit for T&J.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys truck slips in? You know?
For the Dolomite.
We had Dolomite and there was another one. Dolomite and Canable.
Knavel, he went and picked up the product, he said they don't give out,
Truck slips for
truck
'em?
slips. No, he went and picked it up.
I'll make the motion that we accept the corrected abstract dated 7/19/21.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Before we start the old business, I've got two housekeeping items. The recusals are supposed to be talked about at the beginning of a meeting, and there are two things on the agenda where people have to recuse themselves. I will be recusing myself from number G, the approval of Blair Hall, and Milt and Cheryl have a conflict with the item having to do with the ANC. So I'm just announcing that. The other old business that was brought to my attention is that you were told in January that you have a conflict being a commissioner for the fire and a town board member. And there was a picture of you, obviously you have not resigned from the fire company
I have
or
no
here.
intention to do so.
Well, it's
I
a law
was
and.
told that it's a volunteer, corporation, the fire district is volunteer. I've been a volunteer for 36 years. I have no intentions of resigning. When the state says I have to resign, I will resign.
Well, you're
I'm not
being a
going on your
volunteer
say-so.
fireman. Well, it's not my say-so. He says he doesn't need to resign unless the state tells him to. It is a law.
It's
not
not a law,
Anything.
but it's an opinion of the Attorney General. So that's the state
That's an opinion.
saying so.
That's an
Well, send me a
opinion.
letter. It's against the law to hire an attorney from a different county that represents our town too.
I'm sorry?
You have to be a resident of the county that you represent the town in. So
No,
I'm not gonna take your word for it.
You know, the town passed a local law saying that any officer or employee can be a resident of the state of New York.
correct.
This says you have to not live in the town, but you do have to live in the county.
That's not what the town's local law says.
Local law, I'm going by the state law. Anyway, when I get something from the state says I have to resign, I will do so. But I'm not doing it on your say-so or his say-so.
It's fine, we will take that up with the Attorney General's office.
The Attorney General's an opinion. You can take it up to the Association of Towns, because I did check at that time, and Milt is correct, it's a volunteer district.
He's an elected Commissioner
It
Mike
doesn't
was an
matter.
elected
It's a volunteer.
ambulance. No, Mike was a
Get it in writing then.
commissioner, well, it is in writing,
Get it in writing.
it's fine. The new dump truck is received, and we have the invoice, so we need to decide how we wanna pay for it. Do we want to, get a ban? I called Karen, I did not get a response from her to see what the going rate would be on a ban right now. Hopefully she'll get back to me. We obviously don't have the money in the highway budget, but we do have extra money if we don't wanna get a ban. We also have, 435,000 in reserves, and a lot of that is highway money. It's $237,437.76, which is exactly what we had approved, because it's the exact same amount as the last truck.
You need to know if you wanna take a ban.
Yeah, we have to decide if we want to pay outright for it or apply for a ban.
Personally, I'd say you apply for a ban. I can't see us spending half the reserve.
Is that a motion or?
It's an opinion, somebody else's. But I can make a motion, we'll apply for a ban.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. We don't have a current, spreadsheet from Baldwin, so I'm not sure what you got in there, so I'd
Oh, I
say.
emailed you.
Oh, 'cause I didn't see it today, or?
No, I think Friday I got them from Baldwin, and I emailed it to everybody. We have,
Whose phone is going off? Is that yours, Ray?
No.
I'm trying to figure out where, they thought maybe it was mine.
I'll second it.
any further discussion?
What was the motion?
Apply for a band, so we don't use all the reserves, right?
What's the
We
amount?
have reserves.
What's the amount?
237,437.76. All in favor of applying for a ban?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays?
Is that a ban, B-A-N?
Mm-hmm, yes. We received a letter from the state, Division of Budget. Thank you for submitting your information and request for funds from the ARPA Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund. We are slated to get $169,257, half this summer and half in the summer of 2022.